Hey, Ezel back again with another Ezel on the Vanity Card Fight Vanguard weekly reveals. So if you guys enjoy, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and donate to the Patreon. And let's get this one started. Today, we didn't get really as much of reviews as usual because we had like 20 cards, but I'm kind of glad about that because that means less work for me and more time I actually get to record and edit, and the sooner this video gets to go up. So we didn't get as much reviews, but we did get interesting cards, I guess. Like, if I had an opinion on them, I would be slightly upset about it, but I'll deal with that opinion later when I get to it. So let's go ahead and get this started because there's just a bunch of support cards. First up, we have a grade 1 for, well, first up, the next 3 cards are all Eugene. Double Strike of Duststorm Orlando. 8k base, 5k shield, grade 1 with boost. Act Soul if your opponent's rear guard has been retired this turn. Counterblast 1, call it to rear, auto rear. When your grade 3 or greater Vanguard attacks, shove it to Soul, choose one of your Vanguards, and until end of turn it gets +5. So I like that it can call itself from Soul. You know, if you happen to look at top 5 and nothing's really good and you kind of just send all of them to Soul, you know, you can still call this boy, because assuming that you looked at the top 5 for Eugene's skill, you've had to have killed a rear guard. So, you know, you can call this down and you're still getting somewhat of a board out of it, and it can just send itself back to Soul, give Vanguard +5, and then repeat the process. And Eugene doesn't counterblast a bit too much, so Orlando, nice grade 1. I say like 3 of or 4 of. Order is Capture Mission, grade 3, just normal order. Choose one of your Vanguards until end of turn it gets auto. When your opponent's rear guard is retired during your main phase, draw a card. Okay, obviously this is meant to be with Eugene. You cannot retire in the main phase by other decks. I mean, you can if you run Eugene-based cards, but yeah, Capture Mission actually is really helpful for the people who know how to control Eugene. Like, me personally, it bothers me not using Eugene's skill more than once, which is why when I thought I was going to become a Eugene main and then I realized that it wasn't practical to do that, I decided not to do it, or main Eugene in general. Like, it's still one of my favorite decks in terms of aesthetics, but in terms of playing, it's my least favorite because you can't just spam it every turn. And I know why, but it just feels like it's kind of useless not being able to look at top 5 because it's so easy to get it. Like, I hate it, but if you're one of the people who only use it like once or twice, go ahead and get Capture Mission. It would work well for you. I say 2 over 3 because that's a lot of draws you can get from it. And our last support card for Eugene is Piercing Bullet of Duststorm Menard, 13k base, grade 3 twin jet persona ride. Auto, when it's placed on Vanguard rear, counterblast 2, choose an opponent's rear guard, retire all their rear guards in the same column as that unit. So he's a column killer. Really nice that finally Nirvana has, or not Nirvana, just Dragon Empire in general has this. I would assume that they would have been the first one to get it because Dragon Empire, as you know, the deck that murders all rear guards. Apparently Dark States got to it first with Leonard for some reason, but you know, we have it in Menard now. He's a nice grade 2, that grade 3, who can just, you know, get a kill. And finally, something that is useful per a persona ride in Dragon Empire that has a van or rear guard skill. I'm not saying it's good, but thankfully it's an on place. Well, that's debatable why that's good or not. But, you know, Column Killer, he has things I'm looking for in terms of having a Vanguard and rear guard ability. I will take him. I wish he just had an extra ability, you know, that allowed you to get something out of it if it was placed on Van. I say 3 of. On to our Bastion reveals, which I'm most excited for a very certain card. Furious Knight of Cloud's Breaker, grade 3 twin jet persona ride, 13k base, auto and placed on rear. If your hand is 4 or less, counterblast 1, look at top 5, get a grade 3 from one of them and call it to rear and shuffle your deck. Okay, I don't like that there has to be 4 or less hand cards. Like, when I play Bastion, I stockpile my hand cards, and that is because I never really call on the first turn. I mean, with my new Bastion deck, the one for set 2, I will just stockpile my hand cards regardless because I tend to get a lot more than just 4 hand cards. Like, at turn 4, that's when this has become useful for me, but otherwise, like, before that, it's useless, and I might die on turn 4, considering that's what a lot of decks can do. I mean, the counterblast when look at top 5 is fine, but why not just run Alden? Because Alden can get more benefit out of it in terms of drawing. Eddie can get you power out of it, so I see the purpose behind this, but I just don't see the great output of it. If you want to run it, I say 2 or 3, but I don't see any real purpose in it besides that. The card I'm most excited for, the Pride to Protect, a grade 3 set order that is not in Lyrical or Brantgate. Finally, they are giving us set orders. Now, all they need to do is give us one for Dark States, what were the other ones? Dark States, Stoicheia, and Dragon Empire. I already have ideas for all of them, and I do not care. I will spam Bushy's email until they make all of them. I will genuinely do that if I can get the time to do so. Anyway, set order, play it by discarding 1. Continuous order zone. Your grade 3s get boost. Thank you. here's one thing. So in my set 2 Bastion deck, I run the Refarizo, whatever it's called, the grade 3 that gets boosted if you Persona Road. I hate that card with my living soul. Yes, I understand why it's good, because it gets to stand when your unit in the same column as it stands, or its unit in general stands. But it only is useful because, one, it has to be in back row for that, and two, the only way you get benefit out of that is if it had boost and if you Persona Road. And I hated that so much, which is why on my personal Bastion deck, I don't run the fucker, because he is so annoyingly unuseful if you don't get boost or Persona Ride. Like, the deck can work fine without Persona Ride, except for that guy, and then the whole plan falls apart, which is why for the longest time I still ran Dark Strain, and I still do, until this came along where, you know, grade 3s get boost. Now I have reason to run Refarizo and not get pissed off if I don't Persona Ride, because, hey, he still has use now. And this gives me every reason to ditch Dark Strain, because while he was good, you know, 1, he'd only give it to the grade 3s currently on board, and 2, he cost 2 Soul Blasts and it wasn't permanent. This is permanent until they give us a way to retire orders on the opponent's side of the board. So, good grade 3 order. I say 3 of. No arguments. Next up we have a grade 2, Intercept 5k Shield 10k base, Knight of Heavenly Shot Pycroris, or Procryvis, 8 act rear, put it to soul and rest another rear guard, look at top 3, reveal any number of grade 3s from among them, and add them to hand and discard the rest. It's a way to search Persona Ride, and it's a way to get soul, and I can understand that, but like, and there are rest targets in the form of the grade 3 that I was just talking shit about, but 1 is not a grade 3 itself, and while that isn't necessarily a problem, it lessens the chance of Bastion going off. Like, no matter how far along we get along with Bastion, until they give us a grade 1 or 2 that says it's counted as a grade 3 in Trigger Zone, I'm not going to run grade 1s and 2s in my deck, except for the 2 cards that go in the Ride deck, and the 4 PGs, and that's it. Everything else is going to be a grade 3. That's how I will build my deck, and triggers, obviously. But, yeah, because with me, it's all in or not. I see the purpose behind this. It's a really good card, but this is not for me. I like its art too, and that's the disappointing part. Like, the day I get over this factor of me wanting to go all in with it, I will shove this thing in at 3 the second I get the chance, because it looks so beautiful. But yeah, 3 copies if you do run it. We have support cards for our Meteor Girls, Gravidia Staniel, 10k base, 5k shield, grade 2 with intercept, continuous rear guard circle. If you have 5 or more set orders and drop in order zone in total, it gets plus 5k power and 5k shield. So 15k swing and 10k shield, I really like that. You know, it's at permanent time, so it is technically hard to hit over, you know, unless Persona Ride becomes a thing. And then you have the 10k shield on intercept, and it can work on both guard and rear. So, I actually like this thing, and it's really easy to get 5 orders and set zone. Like, straight up, riding Nordlinger is getting you 2. If you're anything like my friend or anyone else I've seen play Gravidia, if you're at grade 1, you're going to get at least 1 Meteor. My friend constantly gets 2 somehow, so he's already at 4, and he typically has 1. He has always 3 in his opening hand somehow, so like, and we only run 10, by the way, so if you know, you're most likely going to get 5 really easily before, like, maybe at grade 3, but even before grade 3. So, yeah, Stanley's a nice grade 2. 4 of. Gravidia Organelle is our grade 1 with boost, 5k shield, 8k base. Auto rear when attacks are boost if you have 3 or more meteors in order zone. Soul Blast 2, countercharge 1, time of turn it gets plus 5. I guess I understand this, like, I understand where it's coming from. I've played against Nordlinger, and I've lost all of my matches against it. I will go into more detail about that at a later video, and hopefully it goes up on Friday so I can express my emotions about this. But by just playing against it, like, yeah, you can... The best play is just to deck them out, because, you know, they'll be playing Meteors a lot, and if they're soul charging and drawing with all their costs, they'll eventually deck themselves out. But, like... 1, you have to stall long enough to do that, and if you're anything like my friend who can sack an over-trigger just by saying the phrase, something, something, my destiny, I don't remember what the full phrase is, but every time he says it, he top decks an over-trigger or a trigger that will kill me. So, yeah, if it's really hard to survive them, so I don't see why countercharging is a deal. Like, yeah, you can damage starve them, but that's not going to do much in the grand scheme of things. All they need is 1 counterblast, and giving them this isn't really a good idea, especially when they have fucking Bulbamine, but sure. I guess you can pick this because it gives 5k, and that's all I can say. That's the only reason why this is technically better than Bulbamine. I say 3 of on it at most. Next up is our grade 3 Gravidia Cypram. Grade 3 Twin Drive Persona Ride, 13k base. Auto when its attack hits. Search your deck for up to 1 Meteor, put it to order zone, and shuffle your deck. That is a way just to get a free Meteor, and I like that. I mean, you won't get to draw because it wasn't placed by Vanguard's ability, but it's a way to slow charge, and it's an on-hit pressure. I guess that's okay, and it's for free, so 2 or 3. No reason not to consider it, at least. Next up, we have our one promo for Lyrical. I'm assuming it's a promo. AK base, 5k shield, grade 1 boost is Unleash the Passion Rihanna. Act rear, if you played an order during this turn, rest it, choose one of your units, and it gets +5 till end of turn. Okay, I understand why it's like that, because I can see the music notes and its art, and yes, the song cards are the thing it's meant for, but like, I'm disappointed that this wasn't an all-rounder card. Like, I don't know, something that could just be, it goes to soul if you have something, I don't know, if you have like 3 or more hand cards randomly, shove it to soul, get +5, draw something, I guess. Or like 4 or more damage, do the thing. Like, I honestly would be fine with that. I wish this was more balanced between them, because while, yeah, all of them have the whale order, and all of them have some way, shape, or form their own order, one of them, to recollection, only has a blitz order, and that is Archangels. Song Girls have all of them. What's it called? Clarissa has an order of her own that can be used with this. Willista can do this. Technically, Mermaid Girls can do this. And what was the last deck? I always forget this one. Ghost Girls. Ghost Girls, I don't see typically people playing orders with this. I wish there's more balance, so I could go in all of them, but that would also involve this being a ghost, so, as you wish. I say 2 over 3 of. Next up, we have our Stowy KO reveals for Sylvain Horned Beast. Sylvain Horned Beast, Rimble, grade 2, intercept 5k shield, 9k base. Continuous back row rear guard. All of your back row rear guards get +2, active on both turns. So, yeah, this is kind of to Clarissa to some extent, because Clarissa can hit 3 units at once. They're most likely going to ram into this, so it's fodder, and, you know, get your power, and already, if you combine this with Magnolia, 16k swing, really nice to have. I like this grade 2. I wish it gave it to, and it can stack, by the way, but I wish I could give it to front row, because that would be so much better, but, it's still fine. I say 3 over 4 of. Next up, we have Sylvan Horned Beast Barmets, 10k base, 5k shield, grade 1 with boost. Continuous Vanity, cannot attack from the front row. Okay, that's fine. Straight up, like, this is 3 over 4. It's a 10k booster or a 10k swinger, and that's already like a 15 with a Magnolia. So, yeah, it's also really cute, and I like the tree on its antlers. It reminds me of a show that I don't remember the name of at this time, so I say 3 of. Next up, we have Sylvan Horned Beast Marimo. I think we're already almost at the end of the reveals. Damn, that was quick. 8k base, grade 1, boost, 5k shield. At auto rear, when your other rear guard attacks from the back row, rest it until end of battle, the attacking unit gets +10. Yes! Yes! Put it in the back row, baby. You know, when something swings, since this it could give the power to the same unit in the same column and it gets 2k more. Or in the front row, if your opponent pulled a trigger and this is going to whiff anyways, rest it, get your +10. Straight up. Nice card. It's an amazing grade 1. It has to attack from the back row, but that's still good. So, yeah, 3 of. Straight up good. Next up, we have Knight of Severe Punishment Gade. 10k base, 5k shield, grade 2 with intercept. Auto, once retired by your card's cost. Look at top 3. Search up for a total of 1 blaster from among them. Reveal, add it to hand, and put the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order. Okay, it's interesting that we got blaster stuff. I know what one of the reveals is for today. I know it's an Overlord card, but I just find it funny because a lot of people said that like we weren't going to get any support besides like the generic stuff that was going to get passed on that every deck could use. I find it very funny that they gave us the time to give us specific support with a really cool looking card, in my opinion. So, yeah, this is a nice card for blasters, 4 of. Next up, we have Magic of Fortune Nanala, 10k base, 5k shield, grade 2 with intercept. Auto rear, when a trigger unit is revealed during your turn from your drive check, put a hand card to soul, draw a card. So it's a way, I guess, to draw? It's a way to get soul, and it's for free, I guess. I don't see the purpose in this. I really don't. Like, if it's a way to get rid of a useless hand card, I see it, but that's all I really much see. Like, if there's something bigger to this, if there's a grand scheme of things going on, I'd like for someone to let me know on this. But as I see right now, I give it like a 2 or 3. I mean, in Hex Orb, I guess I can see its use, or like Bastion, I could see it used because it increases the chance of you drive checking what you want to some extent. But, yeah, I don't see the use in this. I say like 2 or 3 if you really want to run it. Personally, I'm not going to run it. Next up, we have Knight of the Skies Exalta. 8k base, 5k shield, grade 1 with boost. Auto, during your turn, when it's placed on rear, discard it from your hand. Stand one of your back or rear guards. We all know, I said it with the grade 2 earlier, if I wasn't so obsessed with the all in or no on the grade 3 thing, I would shove this thing in at 3 the second I got the chance. I am not joking with that statement. So, yeah, grade 1's really nice, though. I give it that, so, 3. And now we're on to our last technically 6 reveals, but I'm putting them on 2 slides. First up, we have our Dragonic Overlord boy who looks like he came straight from a manga, and I hate his art. Like, I love the design of the armor, but I hate the overall art. Exotic Dragnow armor. 13k base, grade 3, twin drive, force gift. Auto, Van once per turn. When it attacks, Counterblast 2, Soul Blast 1. If your opponent's damage on has 4 less cards, they take a damage. And if you Soul Blast a card with Overlord in its card name, your opponent takes 2 damage instead of 1 if they have 3 or less cards in damage. Trigger abilities do not activate for this damage check ability. This is the Purge. This is straight up the Purge. They took Purge's ability and they put it on this. My only problem with this is, why does it have to be on Van? Like, I could see it if it was Van or Rear, do the first half where if they have 4 less cards in damage, they take a damage. And then if it's on Van and you Soul Blasted a card with Overlord in its card name, and they're at 3 or less, deal 2 damage and triggers don't activate for the ability. I wish that was the case with this card. Or I wish it had a second ability that was activated on Rear, because this really isn't that good. Especially because, like, all of the support cards for Overlord require Overlord. Like, genuinely, this is not that good of a support card in the grand scheme of things. Like, I wish it was something better, or I wish it did just have that rearguard ability, but no. Just no. There are times where Bushy will hit the... Is this a promo? It is a promo. Never mind. Why is this the promo? But then this is actually gets in the set, because you can see in the bottom it says rare. Why is this a promo? But, I don't see this. Like, if you really want to run it 4 of, I say 2 of at most. Honestly, that's my opinion on this. And finally, we have more triggers with skills, which are now crits, and I am more or less disappointed in their skills. I'm just going to read them one by one. It's from left to right. Dragon Empire, Burning Flail Dragon, Dark State Steam Divination Dragon, Brantgate Robotic Cop. I'm pretty sure they put the tick at the end because that's Robocop, and I'm pretty sure they get copyrighted for that shit. Keter Sanctuary, Blade Festival Dragon, who is the coolest looking out of all of them, in my opinion, and Stoikea, Longing Maiden, Elena. So all of them had the same skill, auto rear, then the battle that it boosted. Cost, put it to soul, and one of your units gets +2 to end of turn. Why +2? Why +2? What deck solely benefits from the +2? Like, if they gave one to Lyrical, I can make sense of that because they all have weird fucking numbers, but I don't understand this in, like, the main deck things. If it says +5, sure, hits magic numbers, really easy. What was wrong with the +5s from G? There was no problem with the +5s from G. It made it really hard to guard. They could have given us, like, this would be the case to upgrade the shield value. It could just be an excuse to do that. But no, they decided not to do that. I just, like, the only reason why I care about these is because of this one right here, whose art looks fucking magnificent. That's the only one I care about, and that's it. The rest of these can go to hell for all I care. But why 2? Like, genuinely, why 2? I want to know. Just tell me, please. Please. Like, it doesn't make that much of a difference unless there's 3 of them. And that involves you calling 3 triggers to rear. It's a 15k guard, and you're calling it to rear for a 2k boost. There has to be a reason behind this. Are they going to give us all cards that say when your unit's power is changed, it gets an effect? Is every deck going to get one of those? Because otherwise I would not see the purpose in running this. But, sure. I guess you should run it for the case of the 2k and a soul, and that's it. But, just disappointing, I guess. I expected more from triggers with skills. Anyways, that's it for today's reveals. Next week, we're going to get the Great Ride line. I don't remember how to say his full name, but you know the thing from Dark States, the boss dragon boy. Yeah, we're getting him next week. So I hope you all look forward to that, because I am. So I hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, donate to the Patreon, go follow the go join the Discord, and go follow the Twitch, and I'll see you all next one. Time to stand up your vanguards.